So hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make gluten-free and dairy-free naan. So some of you guys asked me if I can make some gluten-free naan. So if you guys are okay with dairy, I use coconut milk a little bit, but you can use yogurt, will be best. And I use buckwheat flour. So but I prefer either rice flour or millet flour. Millet flour, if you can get, that's the best actually. Because buckwheat flour, like there's a different taste and flavor on buckwheat, so maybe you guys don't like it, but I prefer actually millet or rice flour. So you guys can get ready and get these ingredients all together before you start, so that will be great. I hope you will enjoy this video, and this is very short. Today is the day 8 and I have 2 more videos to make for this finish my 10-day challenge. If you guys enjoying, if you have any requests, anything you want me to make, and something, if it's possible, I will like to make, leave the comment below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell icon. So 1 cup of tapioca flour I'm using, or you can use cornstarch if you don't have tapioca flour. So 1 cup of buckwheat flour. So if you don't have buckwheat flour, you can use millet flour or you can use rice flour. And 1 teaspoon of I'm using sea salt. I'm not using yeast right now instead of yeast. This way you can do faster, because when you have yeast, prepare your dough and let this sit for a couple hours and all this. I'm just avoiding all this, so I'm just going to use baking powder. And 1.5 teaspoon, and baking powder I don't have, so I just substitute this with this. So I'm going to use cream of tartar. So I'm going to use half teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix them all together here. So I don't have whole psyllium husk, it will be better. So I do have powder, so I'm using powder here right now. 3. So 3 tablespoons of psyllium husk, and I'm going to add some warm water here, a little warm, not too warm. So I'm using 1.5 cup of warm water, and it will gonna take few seconds for this psyllium husk to turn into gel. Watch. See, even like while I'm mixing, it's already turning into gel. Now it's thick gel. So now I'm going to add the gel, the psyllium husk, into this powder, and just mix them gently together here with this flour. Okay, and now so you can use your hand and like just mix them all together here. Okay, while you're mixing, or you have to mix dough through your finger, like just squeeze it through your finger, mix them all. And while you're mixing here, you can add some yogurt. So I'm making this dairy free and I don't have coconut yogurt. And also you can add 1 tablespoon olive oil here. Okay, you can even mix this yogurt and oil with the psyllium husk gel together, but it's okay, you can add later also. But I don't have yogurt, coconut yogurt, so I'm using this coconut milk. So I'm using 2 tablespoons of coconut milk. You can use yogurt, will be best, perfect. Actually yogurt is very good for this. Just mix them until they turn into dough form. You can even use your dough mixer, like hand blender or something you want to use for mixing this dough. You can see this now it's become dough. You can just leave this here and cover this with your kitchen towel for 10 minutes here. So I don't know if you ever use this psyllium husk, but this is a psyllium husk you can get online, and this is always good to keep this. And you can make, once you make this naan, it's so easy to make, and you can keep making. It's so easy, so fast. Okay, because I'm making videos, so it takes time for me to do all this thing. Otherwise, so quick, so fast. And you're making bread, as you're making bread, or as you're making something, baking something, same way you can do with this. So psyllium husk this is powder. Is hard to find the whole seed psyllium husk, but this is in India we use this so much in India even before, and in Hindi name is called Isabgol, and this is also good parasite cleanse also. And I have taken, and there's no taste. Okay, if you say taste, just plain, there's no taste, you know. Actually water have good taste, but this one doesn't have any taste, just plain. You can get online and you will see, and once you get, it is so much, you can use few months easily. Okay, so I'm ready to make our naan now. It's been 10 minutes here, and let's start. Okay, so I'm heating pan here. This is my cast iron, and here is our dough right here. So I'm going to divide this dough in equally. And also I'm using extra buckwheat flour. If you have rice flour, you can use, or you can use millet flour. And so I'm going to put this in this here and put this dough. I'm gonna make this equal 8. Okay, here I'm going to cut this half and the half. And dough is like so much like a jello. You can make, if you want bigger naan, you can make bigger naan, but I'm going to cut this in all together in 8 pieces. Okay, so here is the 8 pieces I divided, and just I'm going to use one right now, and rest of them I'm going to cover this with the kitchen towel, because you don't want this to get dry, so you want to cover this. So here, just take a rolling pin, or you know, pastry roller, whatever you call, and use some flour. When you're rolling, you can roll according to you, what kind of size you want. Right here, I'm going to make like a round. You don't have to worry about what size. So naan can be different sizes. So okay, I'm going to roll this like this, and you don't want to roll this too thin and too thick also. Just like, you can do your own judgment. You can use a dry flour as much you need, and don't worry about the shape. You know, you don't have to be. You know, naan doesn't have very like perfect shape, so don't worry. So look, so here is how thin I did this. So for pan, I'm heating this pan here. Okay, so this pan, you don't want this to be too hot, you don't want this to be too cold, so it has to be like perfect, you know. So when you're heating, you can spring some water. See the sound? Yeah. So now I'm going to place this right here. Okay, and you're gonna cook this, you know, this side maybe around like 2 or 3 minutes. You can see, or until you see when the, you know, bubble start to forming here. That means you have to flip this over. Okay, now you can see. It's hard to see because the flour is dark because buckwheat, but you can see how this making bubbling here a little bit. And now I'm gonna flip this over, because I'm using buckwheat flour here. That's why it's like color is this way. Otherwise, you can, if you use millet flour or rice flour, brown rice flour, the color will be different. So I'm using medium high heat right now, but you have to watch, you have to pay attention. You don't let this get burned. You can see it's like getting puffing, like it's just rising up a little bit. So when you are taking this out from here, you can brush some butter or ghee with cilantro or parsley. You can see this is done. Look, so nice, and both sides so nice, soft, puffy. So when you take this off, what you're gonna do, you can just cover them with the kitchen towel. So whenever you put this second one, you just sprinkle some water like this, and you can roll this all together, and you can stack them all together also, but you can put parchment paper between those, otherwise they're gonna stick together. Now I'm keeping them here under the towel, kitchen towel, before we eat. So you can brush some butter, ghee, whatever you want right now. I don't know if you can see, if you're able to see those bubbles coming. This one, see this one, puffy. That means we can flip this over, or you can do your own judgment also.